President Obama declaring Donald Trump unfit to be president earlier today. It's the president's strongest comments yet against the Republican presidential nominee. This is risk and reward. I'm Liz McDonald in for Deirdre Bolton. Here are Mr. Trump's response. Obama Clinton have single-handedly destabilized the Middle East, handed Iraq, Libya, and Syria to ISIS, allowed our personnel to be slaughtered at Benghazi. They have betrayed our security, our workers, and Hillary Clinton has proven herself unfit to serve in any government office. She's reckless with her emails, reckless with regime change, reckless with American lives. And, well, it's 98 days to the general election. The attack's now flying. The president even suggests that Republicans should withdraw their support for Mr. Trump. Watch.
If you are repeatedly having to say in very strong terms that what he has said is unacceptable, why are you still endorsing him?
My next guest has endorsed Donald Trump. He's former presidential candidate and governor of Arkansas. Mike Huckabee joins me now. Good to see you, Governor.
Good to see you, Liz.
Now,
you know, I bet all over America, Republicans are sitting on the edge of their seat waiting for instructions from Obama on what we should be doing in this presidential election.
Well,
Thank you so much, Mr. President.
That's a good point. Well, what advice would you give Mr. Trump right now?
Well, I think he's got to turn away from arguing with people out there in the stands. I put it this way. He's the boxer in the ring. He has an opponent. Let him throw his punches toward her. And don't take, anything the hecklers are saying to heart. Leave it alone. Walk away from it. He's got a real fight on his hands, but the fight needs to be for the American people, for those workers who have lost jobs and wages, who have lost their homes in foreclosure. This isn't his fight, it's their fight. And when he focuses on that, he's going to win the election.
Yeah, the question is, for some of his campaign donors, too, though, is basically, is he acting statesman-like? In other words, he's smearing John McCain's military record. He went after the New York Times reporter and mocked him for his disability. He, went after a judge on his ethnicity, the judge that was opposing him over Trump University. And, going after the mother of the Muslim soldier who lost his life in 2004. I mean, is it getting harder for you and the GOP to defend Mr. Trump's actions? It seems like, he's trying to lose.
I don't think that at all. Look, it's not harder for me to support him. I disagree with some of the things he says or the way he says them, but that doesn't dismiss his candidacy. Look, this is not about what Donald Trump says. This is about what he would do as president. This is about what Hillary Clinton would do as president. Whose Supreme Court would you be more comfortable with, Donald Trump's or Hillary Clinton's? Whose EPA would be better for you if you were trying to farm? Whose Fish and Wildlife Service would be better depending on whether you were someone who liked to hunt and fish? Whose administration would be better to protect your Second Amendment rights, Donald Trump's or Hillary Clinton's? Look, there's a huge contrast here. This isn't a hard lift for me. It's real easy. And Donald Trump says some things from time to time. I just go, no, boy. But look, I'm less concerned about some statements he makes because he makes a lot of statements. I'm more worried about Hillary Clinton that won't even face the press, that won't even go out and do a spontaneous press conference because she's so programmed, she's afraid and knows that she's likely to step on her tongue and tell another big one like she's been caught in over and over again.
Well, you bring up Hillary Clinton. Mr. Trump labeled Hillary Clinton the devil, and he made the comment while speaking about Senator Bernie Sanders. Let's take a listen.
He would have just not done anything. Just go home, go to sleep, relax. He would have been a hero. But he made a deal with the devil. She's the devil. He made a deal with the devil. True.
So we go from crooked Hillary to now Satan. But will that work? Will it cause Americans to, not vote for Hillary? Is this the way to get Bernie's supporters?
Look, here's the point I find so amazing. Are the liberals now believing in the devil? I mean, liberals don't believe much in theology, and they certainly don't believe in, the idea of the personification of evil in the person of the devil, so why should they worry? I mean, this isn't even in their space. So, I think it's a little bit ridiculous for Democrats to act like, oh, no, he called Hillary the devil. Well, according to them, there isn't one, so I guess they don't need to worry about it.
All right, you're being a little glib there, aren't you? Like trying to flip it around, being funny.
I'm being a lot glib there right now. Of course I am. But look, the point I don't want to run from you can't have it both ways. You can't say that there isn't a personification of evil and then say, oh, he offended me because he called me something I don't believe in. That's nonsense.
All right,
and everybody needs to grow up a little bit.
Yeah,
Look, Donald Trump is going to be Donald Trump.
That's the point. It gets to a level that, you know, I think there's campaign fatigue out there. People are a little tired of it. And, you know, bringing Satan into the picture, I mean, it just doesn't really work. I think the broad zoom thing here right now, Governor, and you talked about this, is, you know, Americans really don't want a tutorial on how horrible the last 8 years were. They want a vision of optimism. You go to a Trump rally, people feel really angry leaving it. When you went to a Reagan or Romney rally, people felt optimistic. I mean, is that going to work?
Well, I don't know that I agree with that, because I think that a lot of people go to the Trump rallies and they come away rather optimistic about their country. They feel like, hey, America's going to be great. America's going to start winning. We're not going to get into things that we lose. We're going to compete in the trade world and not just get our heads handed to us in every trade deal so that we lose jobs. I don't think that's negative. I think that's incredibly positive. And I've been to some Trump rallies, and I don't see these people walking away ready to burn America down. I see them ready to say, by golly, we can have a great America and turn this over to our kids and grandkids, and it'll be something we're proud of.
Yeah, I hear what you're saying.
We're afraid
although, you know,
we're going to be second.
I hear what you're saying. Although Donald Trump's speech was, you know, criticized as having a dark vision of America. I think that's what I was talking about. But let's get
by whom? Who criticized it?
I listened to it. A number of people listened to it. They felt it was, you know, a little dark, and it was a swing away from the Make America Great theme that you just brought up.
Look, I listened to Hillary's speech, and it was all I could do. Even Bill couldn't stay awake. I did my best, and the point is that she was shrill. She seemed angry. I mean, if anybody watched her speech and said, boy, that really just lifted my spirits, I was soaring into the heavens, you know, write me a letter and tell me what you heard I missed. Look, opponents are always going to paint the other guy's speeches as less than ideal, but, you know, I think that there was a contrast. That Donald Trump came out, he talked about the America that we could be again, and, you know, Hillary, I honestly felt like I was getting a 1-hour lecture from my elementary school principal, and she was scolding me for an hour, and it was painful to watch.